What was it like before your family was introduced to typing?
It's kind of hard to remember because Zach had an augmentative device probably when he was 4 or 5 years old. He had a smaller one, I think a Dynamite at first, but soon after that he got the Echo, not the Echo, the Pathfinder. And he was like 5 years old when he got this, and it was made for adults. And he was able to do almost everything on it. So very early age, he had an augmentative device. But I can remember times before he got it, he would find ways to communicate with us. He would know where things were in books, like words were in books if we couldn't understand what he was saying. And he'd pull out the book, and he would go to the page, point to the word and show us where it was. And this is preschool he was doing this.
So how fast has he advanced with it? How far has he gone with it?
Actually, he doesn't use it as much as he used to.
Mm-hmm.
As he developed more speech and people around him got more comfortable with what he was saying, even though his speech isn't real understandable, that is his primary way of communicating now. He uses speech and uses abbreviated sentences, enough to get the message across. So he doesn't use it as much as he used to.
So are there certain situations where typing is more helpful, or when does that come up usually?
He uses it a lot for pleasure, like he likes to look up Disney things about animals. And occasionally he'll go to a word where he has trouble making us understand what it is. He'll go and he'll type out the word to us. We have a lot of difficulty getting him to more advanced thinking, though, to be able to expand on things that he's showing us or wants that we want him to talk more about.
And what are some things some basic things you wish that the general public would understand about autism and people with autism?
Well, the obvious one is how smart these kids are. And that's a great thing about being in this setting here is everybody in this room knows how smart all the kids are, but the general public, they don't get it. They just see what they see, and I think the most natural inclination when they see kids acting up or acting differently is they're either mentally retarded or they're not advanced in a certain way, it's just a shame that kids get stereotyped that way.
Mm-hmm. And has he ever expressed frustration with that, with being treated treated like someone younger than he is, or in some way, or belittled like that?
It never has really affected him that much. He usually just ignores it. There's been a couple of times in the past where he's shown been really upset. I remember one situation where we were going to go to when we lived in Washington Township. He was going to go to a preschool. We had everything set up, and at the last minute they got derailed, and they wouldn't let him go to the preschool. And I remember we called home, and his grandmother was staying with him, and we were talking to her on the phone, telling her that that wasn't going to happen. And he just kind of laid down the floor and just he just kind of beside himself.
Mm-hmm.
He was so upset that he couldn't go.
Mm.
But most of the time, he's learned just to ignore it. I think he's comfortable with who he is. We just got through talking to him about his feelings about having autism, and he says he's happy. He's happy with who he is, and he feels like he's got a pretty good life right now.
You said he doesn't type as much now. You said he's mainly speaking.
Yeah.
Okay. So did that come over time, or how long ago was that present, I guess?
It's probably been gradual, but I think his situation is he is so smart that he realizes that the more he shows people, the more they're going to expect out of him. And so he's pretty happy with the way things are. So it's why show people what I can do, and I got a pretty good life the way it is.
What would you say to parents of children with autism that are debating whether they want to start learning about typing as a means of communication? Would you encourage that, or what?
No, I think communication is everything in the world. If they don't have any other way to communicate, they have to do that. It's not fair to the kid. That's not letting them be who they are.
So you think that's something about that typing allows, is letting the personality show a little bit and be like?
Oh, definitely. It lets them not only their personality but their feelings and what they want to tell the world. How else is the world going to know who they are?
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.